This video is on installing the Aero ATV front Can-Am Outlander racks for, I believe, 2007 maybe up until 2022 or 2023 with the radiator relocate. And this is a 2022 Can-Am 1000 XMR Outlander. It's got Apache 360 LT tracks, and it's got massive ground clearance, and I already mounted the racks. So I can put chainsaw or whatever else up on top, on the front, brush cutter, a hand brush cutter, of course. I put a windshield on it. And I mounted the cooler with, they're like m-lok mounts that clip into the cutout link system. You put them in and just tighten them up, and it's got little washers that turn and lock in, and that's what's in the bottom of the cooler. So you can see that. Those are screwed into the locks. I have a larger cooler that utilizes the rest of the holes. As you can see, the only space you have on the front is the front fender space, because the radiator relocate doesn't allow for a rack system. These were probably about $265, I believe, off of eBay. And it shows Aero ATV. It's aeroatv.com, I believe. And the first thing that you do, on the downside, the underside, it has locking nylock nuts, and the holes on stainless steel, and it goes all the way across. The holes on the bottom side are small like the nuts, so you actually don't need a washer. But they gave you these larger washers, which I believe probably should have been on the bottom side or the top side. But the nuts are too small for these washers to be on the bottom side. So I doubled it up. I put the smaller washer, then the larger washer on the top. So it gives it more support. And the bottom bracket is probably 1.5 inches wide anyways out on the end, and wider in the front. And the hole is small enough for the nylock washer not to, or nylock nut not to need a washer, because it can't rip through. But this will keep that from ripping off. And it's rock solid. I leveled it out, and you could probably stand on it. I put it's not a gas line, but it's a rubber hose. I'm not sure what you would use that for. I went to Ace Hardware and went to their hose section and had about 12 inches cut off, and I put that on all of the U-bolts so it doesn't mar up the roll bar. And I had this rubber that I put under the clamps so that doesn't cut into it. But the first thing you do is you mount the plastic to the brackets Then you come outside and you put the U-bolt on to the bar next to the radiator. They only go on one way. You get two for each side, and they're definitely left or right. So you can't mix them up because it won't work. So when you put the U-bolt on, then you put the rubber, then you put the clamp, then you put the bracket. This is the bracket that goes along down there, and it's easy to tighten it up. You can get a 13mm breaker bar with an extension down on the bottom and a ratchet wrench on the top to tighten it up. And you just level it out, put it how you want it, and it's rock solid without cutting the roll bar up with the rubber in the hose. Works great. Haven't tried it. It's gonna have chainsaws clamped onto it, and it comes with a plastic cover on it that I didn't get all the way ripped off yet. The other side, I tore it all off because after the thought, it's easier to pull it off then. But that gives you a lot of extra space over the fender that was wasted and useless.